really big career transition, or perhaps you're trying to advance in your career, but you're really frustrated with the fact that the advancement is not occurring the way that you would like for it to. In this video, this is an opportunity for you to ask me anything. And this is a Q&A. I know how hard it is as a woman in leadership when you're at a place where you're trying to transition and go in a different direction and advance in your career. And I personally struggled with this very early on in my career, and I did not have a ton of support at the time to make those decisions. And I want to be there for you regardless of where you are in the world today. I'm here to help you any way that I can. Feel free to learn from my over 20 years of experience being a C-suite executive, a director, and an executive coach and a public speaker to help you be able to overcome some of those challenges that you're facing right now. As I mentioned, this is a question and answer, and you're welcome to ask me any questions. If you are watching this portion of the video, you are more than likely watching the replay, and I'm so glad that you are here. Whether you are a subscriber or whether you are someone that is watching my channel and trying to get a feel for the channel and what we talk about, I'm glad that you're here. There's typically a point in this video, it is a live video, where the audience will join the conversation. And when they join the conversation, give me just a few moments so I can say hello to everyone and let's answer your questions. I want you to know that this is a safe space. And if you have something that you're dealing with, I don't want you to feel like you're alone and you don't have anyone to talk to. Maybe you're in a situation where as a professional, you're trying to enhance your growth and enhance your income, but you feel like the people that you're with are maybe not at that level, or they may be at a place where it's just something that you just can't talk to them about. Feel free to ask me anything. I'm here to help you any way that I can. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm glad that you're here. Now, this channel, if you are new to me, is heavily focused on advanced communication skills and strategies and techniques that will make you stand out from everybody else. If you've ever struggled with communicating confidently and concisely in those very high stakes, high pressure type of situations, such as job interviews, salary negotiations, or even presentations to board members, or maybe even in general, just having conversations or having difficult discussions, you're going to learn strategies that a lot of times people are not talking about here on YouTube. I'm sharing with you real strategies, real techniques, not hypotheses, not theories. I'm going to share with you what really can help you. And that's what this channel is about. My main target audience that I provide executive coaching and consultation services to are women in leadership, but I have a lot of people that are not my target audience here on the channel. I have men in leadership, and I have individuals that are not leaders just yet, but they're trying to figure out what they want to do. Regardless of where you are, man in leadership, woman in leadership, or you're just learning, I appreciate you being here, and you're going to learn a lot. I want to say hello to everybody that is here today. Welcome, welcome. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are in today, and what questions do you have about advancing your career, earning more income, or transitioning as a leader. This is the best place for you to ask those questions. It is Friday evening. I'm here to support you all as much as I can. I know you may be struggling with how to navigate and how to transition in your career. So feel free to ask me anything. I'm here to support you. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. I'm actually the YouTuber that will actually say hello to you. So feel free to stay tuned for this video. You're going to learn a lot. And always subscribe to the channel if you like this information so far and you want to stand out from everybody else in terms of how you communicate. I want to say hello to I Love Jimmy Too Much. Hello, I love Jimmy Too Much. How you doing today? We have Still to Rock Band. Hello. We have I'm going to say X, your boy, I believe. Hello, how you doing today? Let me know what questions do you all have about transitioning in your careers, generating more income, or you're at a place where you just need to do something different. Ask me anything. What are you struggling with right now? Where do you want to be at as it relates to your career? Are you at the place where you want to be at, or do you want to be somewhere different? What's holding you back? Let's talk about it today. And if you like this information, feel free to stay here to the end. I go live here Tuesdays through Fridays, typically in the morning and the evening, and giving you insight to help you on your journey. Now, I will say, while I'm waiting for some responses to come in, Tell me a little bit about yourself, those of you who are joining right now. Let me know where you're joining from. What role are you in right now? What's your profession that you are in right now? And let me know what are some things that you might be wanting to do this year, and in terms of advancing your career, increasing your income, maybe making a bigger impact. Maybe you want to start a business. Let's talk about it. I'm here to support you any way that I can. We have Vicky Rajput 2393. Hello, Vicky. How are you doing today? And Vicky says they're from India. Well, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? India time right now, it's probably early morning, I believe. Early morning. Okay, so they're from India, and where am I from? I am from the United States of America, and I'm here to really help you all any way that I can. If you have been struggling with your career, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to start, how can you go to that next role, how can you make more income, put it in the comments below. I will answer your questions, and I will give you over 20 years worth of experience as a C-suite executive and a director and an executive coach and a public speaker that will help you to learn how to make those career transitions, earn more income, and then also to communicate confidently and concisely under pressure. That is my expertise here. That is what I do. So if you want to be that person that stands out from everybody else, this is the best channel on YouTube for you to watch, because you will be that type of person that will speak out, and just, you're going to do amazing things. All right, let's go to the chat. So we have Vicky Rajput says Trump, and the fans on the face. I understand. It's a little bit crazy over here right now. I'll say that for sure. So Token Jesus, hello Token Jesus, how you doing today? You said something about ICE. I'm not going to say the first word, but completely understand what you're saying, friend. Absolutely. It's as I mentioned to Vicky, it's a little crazy over here right now, and the whole situation with ICE. And if for those of you who do not know who ICE are, because we have people that, and thank you for the heart emojis, we have individuals that are joining from around the world, and they may not know what ICE is. So let me tell them briefly, and then let's talk about your career, where you are, where you want to go, what do you want to talk about this evening. So for those of you who do not know, ICE is a branch of the federal government. It's Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement. Thank you for the heart emojis in the 100s. And their purpose overall is to help be able to manage immigration, customs, and enforcement. And so sometimes they will target different situations, different people that may not necessarily be in the states where they need to be in terms of legally and etc. However, there's been just some crazy things happening here in the United States. For those of you who have not watched the news, we've had 2 American citizens killed by ICE agents, and it's been a complete catastrophe. And you know, most of you know that, you know me, or if you may not know me, you may be new to me. I have spent time at the federal level. I have spent time with various congressional leaders. I've interacted with the Senate Majority Leader at that time, many years ago, which was Harry Reid. And so I've been in those very friendly and those very contentious situations, and I have a decent understanding about politics because I deal with it. And I will tell you that this is just a mess. I mean, it definitely is a mess. And for those of you who know me, I'm not very opinionated when it comes to different things as it relates to politics, because I've been in it, I understand it, and I know how to communicate about it, which is why I'm sharing with you insights in terms of helping you communicate at that higher level than everybody else. But this situation is a complete mess. So Token Jesus, even though I will not say the explicative that you said, I agree with you 100%. There's a lot of things that need to definitely be changed. It's a bit insane in my opinion. All right, Token Jesus says, I'm Mexican. All right, fantastic. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I speak a little bit of Spanish. I studied Spanish, believe it or not, for 4 years in undergraduate. I spent my residency in Bronx, New York, so I spent a lot of time speaking Spanish, and I love the language. I speak it to this day. All right, so Vickery says, hey, friendship with me. Well, Vickery, let me know a little bit about you, what questions you have, and how can I help you be able to advance in your career today? Do you have a topic? Do you have a challenging situation that you're dealing with as a professional right now that you want to get some help with? I'm here really to support you any way that I can. I know we've talked about ICE here, which is fine, and on our lives here, for those of you who are new, I'm so glad you're here. Typically on our lives, especially on Friday evenings, they can go in different directions. So it just depends on what you want to talk about. And as long as it's professional and it's not anything inappropriate, I'm here to help you any way that I can. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we can help you advance in your career, earn more income, speak more clearly and concisely when you're in those very high pressure situations, such as interviews or salary negotiations, or having difficult conversations, or speaking in front of a group of people, or speaking in a presentation. I am the person that's going to help you be able to communicate at a higher level than your peers. So Token Jesus says, yep. And we have No Hernan. No, I believe you've been here before. Hello, welcome. I believe you've been here before, so welcome back. And you have your language is different. So I appreciate you stopping by, and let me know how I can support you all today. For those of you who are new, because we have some new people here, I want to share with you just a couple of videos that you might want to take a look at on my live tab to get a sense of what this specific type of video, my content is about. The videos I always tell people to start watching on my live tab are the following. These are some fundamental things you want to learn how to master when you are at a point where you're trying to communicate at a higher level than your peers. One is mastering your eye contact, managing your emotions under pressure, having difficult conversations, body language, or tone of voice, or executive presence. Any of those videos will help to give you a very good foundation in terms of how you can start learning and being able to navigate yourself and start communicating at that higher level. Thank you for the heart emojis. I appreciate that. So let me know how I can support you. We have Heather Howery, 8960. Hello, Heather. How are you doing today? Heather says, hi, I am a new subscriber. Well, welcome, friend, to the group. I'm so glad you're here. You're going to learn a lot of information here, and I'm here to really help you all on your journey. My main primary audience that I work with in terms of executive coaching and consultation services are women in leadership. And I have a lot of individuals here on my channel that are men in leadership, or individuals that are not in leadership just yet. Regardless of where you are on your journey, woman in leadership, man in leadership, you're going to learn a lot of information on this channel, especially in terms of how to communicate at that higher level than your peers. All right, so Heather Howery says, you're so pretty. Well, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. And amen. And can you shout me out? Yes, Heather, I did. Absolutely. Vickery Rajput 2393 says, what do you do? Okay, so when we talk about career transition and specifically what do, I am an executive coach and a consultant. Now, I will preface this by saying that I've had a bit of a unique type of career transition myself personally. I'll share that with you very, very briefly. I initially wanted to be a forensic DNA analyst and work for the FBI. That was my initial career goal. And I ended up transitioning, and God did not have it work that way for me. Thank you for the heart emojis. And so I ended up transitioning into dentistry. So I am a dentist. My name is Dr. Jacinta, and I've been a dentist for a very long time. But I found myself at a place where I was in a career transition. And in the career transition, I appreciate the heart emojis. In a career transition, which is what we're talking about today, sometimes you just don't know what you want to do. And I found that I wanted to use the skills I love. I love public speaking. I've been doing that. I've been on the news. I've been on magazine covers. I enjoy public speaking, and I did Toastmasters also. But I wanted to do more outside of being in an operatory, and I wanted to be able to help more people too. And so that's why I became an executive coach and a consultant to really help you go to that next level. I worked as a C-suite executive for many years and a director, and that gave me those next level skills, which is what I am sharing with you and giving you the insight of someone that has been a C-suite, that's been a senior leader, and been at a place where I've been in those very friendly and contentious conversations, and I'm here to help you navigate them with ease so you don't make mistakes that I made. So that is what I do, Vicky Rajput. Tell me what you do. All of you on the live today, I appreciate being here. Let me know a little bit about yourself and what challenges you're facing right now. Tell me, what do you do? I know Rajput is from India. The rest of you, let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you're in right now. So Heather Howery says, okay, thank you. Can you help me with my anxiety? So let's talk about it. So Heather, what are some things that you are dealing with right now that make you anxious? Maybe let's talk about some of those situations that come up for you when this situation happens, you become anxious. So Heather, if you can tell me a little bit more in the chat, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about it so we can see what type of strategies we can do to help you be able to overcome feeling a bit nervous in different situations. Noah Hernan says, can you give me a shout out? Yes, no, I can. I absolutely did. I appreciate you being here. Heather Howery says, I have really bad anxiety. Can you help me with it? Let's talk about it. Let me know what type of situations come up for you, Heather, that make you feel anxious. And let's talk about it. Vikri Rajput says, which is your state in the USA? Okay, so I am based out of the Sunshine State, and the Sunshine State is Florida. So I am in the warm, well, it's not warm today, I'll tell you that for sure. It's cold, and it's very, very cold over here in the States right now. I feel like all over is cold, and if I'm in South Florida, I'm at the southernmost part of the States, and if I have to wear a jacket and it's 30 degrees outside, Vicky Rajput, that's cold. That is cold. It is normally 85, 70, 90 degrees here. And no, we're wearing coats and jackets with the heat on over here right now. So that's where I am. Now, I know in India, they have different areas too. So let me know specifically what part of India are you from. Okay, Heather Howery says, I get bullied and body shamed. So, okay, I would say if... do you feel like most of the bullying is happening around just, I know you said body shame. So what I found that happens sometimes with people that may not feel comfortable in their own body, from an executive coaching standpoint, I would say, what is it about your body that you love? Let's talk about what's positive, because sometimes what happens is, just as individuals and as people in general, we always think of the negative, right? Have you ever thought of the negative sometimes? We always kind of think of the negative and like how, oh, I don't like the way I look here. I don't like this. I don't like that. But let's think positively. Let's think positively. And this is something that I do in executive coaching session, is to really help you make forward momentum and forward movement in your career. And oftentimes it happens a lot faster with an executive coach like myself than you do by yourself. This is the reason why people invest in coaching. And if you want some support on that, you're feel free to visit my website. It is www.exciteexcellence.org. It is in the description below. Now, so specifically, let's think about, Heather, what are the parts of yourself that you love? So there's got to be something you love about yourself. There's something about you that makes you unique. All of us are special in our own way. That is how we look, how we talk, how we sound, how we think. What are some of the wonderful things that people compliment you on all the time? So let's start there. Let's start there first. Then, so let me see. Heather said, I like my eyes and smile. Very good, Heather. We're making some progress. So if you love your eyes and your smile, then those are the traits about you that you know are beautiful. Now, in terms of people being bullying or mean to you, what I tell my clients and what I tell my kids is that whenever you have someone that is bullying you or being mean to you, the most immediate thing you need to do, Heather, is like detract yourself from that person. So that person is someone that is absolutely not worth being in your circle, being in your vicinity, being close to you, or absorbing any of that positive energy that's coming out from your eyes and your smile. Okay, so when you ever have somebody that is bullying you, you want to just detract yourself. So I don't know specifically in terms of like where you are, age range and etc. But you just want to detract yourself, because even as professionals, believe it or not, even as women in leadership, men in leadership, we've all been in a situation where when people have tried to bully us. I have, and I know other people have too. It's something that doesn't only happen in individuals that are younger, it happens in adults too. It's just spoken in a different way. So maybe instead of bullying, someone says maybe they're just have a toxic work environment or something like that. So you want to detract yourself from those individuals, because those people, they're just not worth your time. If you are that very positive person and you're at a higher level in terms of how you think, you're more compassionate, people that are negative around you, you have to really get away from them. And sometimes you may be in classroom settings or you may be in work settings where you just have to work with this person. That's fine, but limit your interactions with those people as much as you can. Because once someone shows you that they're a bully or they're not being nice to you or etc., that is your cue to say, I need to go somewhere else. And you don't want to necessarily be that person to just be constantly, I would say, accommodating of that. One of the mistakes I see a lot of my clients make when they're in those very complex situations is that they will say, oh, maybe he was having a bad day, or maybe she was having a bad day, or maybe they're having a bad day. Well, you have to be real careful because every day cannot be a bad day. Okay. Every day is a bad day, then there's a problem. Then that means you have to distract yourself. So maybe start there, Heather Howry. If you feel like you're being body shamed, you just don't need to be around these people. You have beautiful characteristics about yourself, as you mentioned, that you appreciate, and you just get away from those people, really. Now, if there's anything else that's making you feel a bit anxious and you want to talk about it, let me know. I'm here to support you any way that I can, but that's how I would start with it. So is there anything else you want to talk about? Just let me know. Okay, so Vickery Rajput says, your teeth are very beautiful. Well, thank you, Vickery. I appreciate it. As a dentist, I try. All right, Heather Howry says, okay, thank you. And by the way, I'm in the age range of 10 to 15, and I live in Morgan. Okay, Morgan. Okay, Morgan, are you in the States? I'm not sure. Just let me know. And so, yes, with that, that's why I mentioned bullying, because I usually see bullying come up from my individuals that are in a younger category, mostly for older adults and professionals. It comes up, thank you for the heart emojis, it comes up to the place where they're saying toxic workplaces, or they just say bullying too, believe it or not, because there's so many things that happen specifically. So I appreciate you mentioning that. If you have any other questions, just let me know. But that's the thing, I have young children too, and I would just tell you the same thing like I tell my daughters: you have to detract yourself from those people that are being silly, that are being ridiculous. So to let you know that. So the Warriorettes drill team, welcome back, friend. How you doing today? Good to see you. I know you were here the other day. I appreciate you being here. So what are some questions you all have as it relates to transitioning in your careers? Maybe you're at a point where you're just trying to figure out, what do you want to do with your career? So I shared with you a bit about my career transition. And one of the things I will mention to you as a mistake that many people make when they are at a point where they're trying to transition in their careers is that they do not take the time to really sit quietly and think what it is that makes them happy. Now, I know many people will say, oh, well, sometimes you can't do what makes you happy. You have to do what pays the bills. Well, I think there's a happy medium there. I believe that sometimes in our lives, in our careers, and transitioning specifically, we may find ourselves in a situation where we may have to work at a job to pay the bills, right? We may have to do that specifically. And that's okay. So that's all right. But ultimately, you have to think about what really makes you happy and try to go for that. So I don't want you all to make that mistake. Heather Howry says, one of my friends used to manipulate me, and I told her I don't want to be friends anymore or take a break a little, but she got mad and hasn't listened to what I do. What do I do then? So this particular friend, is she still talking to you? Is she still trying to have a conversation with you, even though you said you don't want to talk to her? I'm assuming that's happening, possibly. I'm assuming that might be happening. Heather says yes. Well, so two things. So if you have somebody that's not listening to you, we have to define your boundaries. Now, with your age specifically, you want to, if you have somebody that's doing that, can you try to not be around them as much or be around other people? It may get to the point where you just have to just ignore them. I mean, you've already made it very clear. Look, I don't want to have a conversation with you because you're trying to manipulate me and etc. or whatever you want to say, but you may have to just ignore them. And I don't like to ignore people because I think it sometimes can be rude. But if they're really stressing you out, it's not worth you being stressed out about. That's for sure. So maybe just check to see if they're not listening to you, then just try to physically get yourself away, or you have to get to the point where you're just not around, or if you are, you may have to just ignore. Sometimes people are like that. And we've all been in situations. Let me know in the comments below if you've been in situations where you've had people that have been wanting to discontinue. Maybe in your mind, you've defined your boundaries. And that's one thing that can empower you as a woman in leadership, specifically is you have to define some of your boundaries. And when you set those boundaries, sometimes people don't like it, right, Heather? Because you mentioned to this person, okay, you're trying to manipulate me. I don't like it. We need to take a break. But people, sometimes they don't understand that, oh, wait, you're setting a boundary. They just think like, oh, Heather's just having a bad day. I'm still going to talk to Heather, right? But the more consistent you are with your actions with this person, that will be helpful to you. So stay consistent, Heather. If this person keeps talking to you and you've told them you need to take a break, then get away, go to another location, physically be somewhere else, be talking to someone else, be busy doing your work or busy doing something else. And if they keep trying to talk to you, then you may have to get to the point to ignore them. Or you may have to say, look, as I mentioned, I'm not interested in having a conversation right now. So you're going to have to give me some time to process some things. And that would be the most appropriate way to say it, because you're telling the person, you're being very professional about it and saying, okay, this is something that you might want to just, I'm not at the point where want to have this conversation. And we need to stop this discussion at this point. Or as I mentioned to you before, friend, we needed to take a break in terms of us communicating. So please, I have other things to do. And Heather, walk away, okay? Walk away, go somewhere else. Because sometimes you just have to be consistent. When people ignore your boundaries, you have to consistently be on guard with them. And I tell this Heather, this is not only just for you, this is for all of us as individuals and adults as well. Because we deal with this every single day. The entire month of December, all of my lives, for the most part, talked only about boundaries. And this is the reason why it's so incredibly important for you to start learning these boundaries at the age you're at right now. All right, so we have Vicky Rajput says, today, Royal Rumble match, I'm so excited. Is it today? I did not know that. Believe it or not, I used to watch wrestling many, many years ago. Many years ago. But yeah, I'm too busy with you all right now to be live and supporting you and growing my business. So, but thank you. Let me know how things go. Okay, Heather Howery says, yeah. Okay, thank you. Bless your heart. Well, thank you, Heather. I appreciate you. And appreciate you being here. And appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Heather, you're always welcome to ask me any questions as you are going through this journey. Just keep in mind that the videos I have here on my channel, even though they're not necessarily in your age range, they're all friendly. There's no bad words or things like that I say specifically. And so it's a really good channel to help you start learning those very advanced communication skills while you are young. Because if you can start mastering how to have conversations, how to be that person that can really speak up, that can navigate challenging situations, even at a younger age, you will set yourself up for success. So you'll learn a lot of information here. Just know that some of the information, it may be a bit beyond what you're thinking, because I've been in just different roles as a professional, but you still will learn a lot, especially as it relates to eye contact, body language, and then your tone of voice, managing your emotions under pressure. All of these videos will help you get a good foundation. Heather Hallery says, bless your heart, and you are an angel. Well, and Heather, you're an angel also. And let me know, so keep me updated on what happens with this friend, okay? Let me know how things work out with that the next time I go live, or if you watch a video and there's a comment that you want to leave on it and you want to give me an update, let me know. For those of you who are joining, welcome. Glad you're here today. We're talking about career transitions, but as you know, for Q&A for the evenings, especially on Fridays, they go somewhat in a different direction. And so we're talking a couple of things right now as it relates to how to not have anxiety and how to deal with challenging situations. If you have something specific that you're dealing with, maybe a hard conversation you're planning to have, and you're trying to go into a different career, you're trying to earn more income in your role, let's talk about it. Let me know how I can support you here in the next few minutes or so, and I'll do what I can to support you on your journey. There's a couple of things that I wanted to mention just really briefly. There's a few videos, as I mentioned, that you may want to try and look at my channel. I am going to be transitioning into doing more videos on your leaders of the world. Let me know what leaders you want me to review. I'm reviewing them because many times people, when they think about communication and communicating at that very high level compared to their peers, they think that people that are speakers and etc., that they speak so well and etc. But What if I was able to show you how to communicate at that same level also? That's what I'm going to do. So if you have a particular leader that you enjoy watching and enjoy listening to, I will do a video just for you and give you a shout out in it and show you what is exactly they're doing to inspire you, that make you want to just listen more to this person. So that as you're growing as a leader, you can do those very same things. All right, so Vicky Rajput says, I want to show my teeth to the to the beauty doctor. Absolutely. So Vicky Rajput, let me know a little bit about yourself. And we got the Warriorettes drill team says, what is, I don't know what the whole thing is with the numbers specifically. I know it's a big thing that people talk, not the big thing that younger audiences talk about nowadays. Heather Howley says, can you shout me out in your next video maybe? Sure. Do you have a topic you want to talk about? And I can give you a shout out in the video specifically. Just let me know. We have Blake Fishes. Hello, Blake Fishes. How you doing today? Thank you. It says $100. Okay, awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for being here. Let me know what questions you have about career transitions, trying to negotiate your salary, trying to advance in your career, and etc. The Warriorettes drill team says, hi, hello again. As I mentioned earlier, we talked about my career transition that I had. I want to know from you, where are you joining from in the big, beautiful world today? And what type of career transitions or challenges are you facing right now in your career? We're going to talk about it for the next few minutes. So let me know how I can support you in the comments below. Heather Howery says, I need to go, but bye. Bless your heart and have a good day. Absolutely, Heather. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining and subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the channel with exceptional leaders. And you, my friend Heather, are one of them. So feel free to ask me any questions as we're going live, or if you watch any of my videos and you have a question that comes up, let me know. You're welcome to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Also, I'm here, and of course, on YouTube. On Instagram, I'm at Excite Excellence under Dr. Jacinta Lamantine. And it's all in my description below. You'll see those. LinkedIn, I'm at Dr. Jacinta Lamantine and at Excite Excellence. And Facebook is both the same. So if you have any questions or you need to reach out to me directly, then just contact me. Just let me know. Heather Howley says, thank you. Okay, no problem, Heather. And hope you have a wonderful evening and have a great weekend. So we talked about career transitions. One of the challenges that people make when they're trying to transition into their career, the first challenge that they make or mistake they make is they don't take time to think about specifically what it is that they need to do for the transition. Sometimes you just don't know. You're not quite sure. What should I do? Make sure you reach out for support. And that's why a lot of people invest in working with me as an executive coach, because we can get together basically your whole plan for the year within 30 minutes to an hour. And that is the power of working with a coach, because you're able to gain more movement a lot faster than you would by yourself. We are professionally trained to be able to help you strategize and really get to the real issues that you're having and help you overcome them. Millie Arans. Hello, Millie. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Good to see you. We are talking about career transitions, and we're talking about how to navigate those very challenging situations that we experience as women in leadership and men in leadership also. But I'm glad that you're here, Millie. It's been a little while, so I appreciate you being here. So we talked about career transitions. One of the other aspects of career transitions that I see that people really struggle with, outside of not taking the time to figure out what exactly they want to do, the other aspect they struggle with is income. Okay, when most of the time when people are transitioning from one career to another, income is the reason why they do not transition faster than they normally would. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been trying to go to a different job or different industry and you're just terrified of having a pay cut? It happens. It happens so many times. And sometimes you do want to transition into a different role, but then sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you want to transition into a different role, but you want to earn more income. Sometimes people are afraid of having a higher income. Now you may say, oh, that can't be. So you would be surprised. There's a lot of clients I have personally worked with that are very, 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 did I say very? Very afraid to say those very multiple six-figure salaries that I'm typically helping them to either negotiate or secure employment opportunities or etc. They are just not comfortable saying that value, even though they're in their mind, they know, oh, I want to make $250,000, or do I want to make $300,000 a year? They know they want to make it, right? They know they want to make it, but saying it is like, oh, I can't do it. I cannot do it. And this is the reason why they work with me, because I will help you be comfortable saying it. And sometimes it's just, there's some limiting beliefs that we have on ourselves in terms of what we value and etc. So these are some of the things that come up sometimes when you're in a career transition. You're trying to go from one career to another. And sometimes it can be very challenging to do that. Okay, so we have Melissa Savory 2704. Hello, Melissa. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Melissa says, do you remember me? Of course I remember you. And I'm glad you're here, and welcome back. Good to see you again. Vickery Rajput says, I liked you very much. Your voice is very sweet. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and the smiley face and the rose also. So I appreciate you being here and talking a little bit. I appreciate you so much. And you're always welcome to join live whenever I'm live. I am fairly consistent with it. I will be honest with you. The past week has some changes happening, and I couldn't be as consistent as I normally am. But typically, I am going live Tuesday through Friday in the mornings, in the evenings. If you are not able to catch me live, you're always welcome to leave a comment on any of my videos here. I will answer any questions you have, especially as you're trying to navigate yourself in your career and advance in your career. So I appreciate you so much for being here. So let me know what other questions you all have specifically as it relates to this. I want to support you any way that I can. I've had the opportunity to be in some really friendly and some really contentious situations. And typically people come to me for the very hard things. So the very hard situations, the challenging issues, the situations you don't want to talk to anybody about, especially as it relates to being in the workplace or being professional or having your own businesses or etc. That is my expertise. I'm used to the hard situations. So I don't want you to feel as if I'm watching a video and I have something really hard I'm kind of dealing with, and I just don't want to talk about it because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not that type of person. You're welcome to look at any of my live videos here, and you'll get a sense of how I am. But I really genuinely do want to support you, and that's really my mission here, is to help as many people as I can. I want you, even though if you're not in my direct audience in terms of being a woman in leadership, in terms of who I provide executive coaching and consultation services to, in terms of what I specialize in, I want you all to communicate at the higher level, because as we were talking about earlier with Token Jesus, yeah, the world needs more leaders today. We need leaders just like you all that are passionate, that actually do care about people and are not, putting them in harm's way or having anything horrible happen to people. We need leaders like you. And in order to be a leader like that, it requires you to be somebody that's exceptional, and it requires you to have an advanced level of communication skills that other people simply don't have. There's a lot of channels here on YouTube that talk about advance your communication skills, improve your communication skills, and etc. But I just want to share with you that if you're trying to really lead at that next level and earn additional income, start a business, become a public official, become a owner of a business that's doing millions and billions of dollars, there's just a certain level of communication you just have to have. And sometimes on YouTube, the advice is very general, and it's very much at that very high level, right? It's very high level. It's just enough to tell you, oh, you need to speak better, and you speak better by doing this. But it is not enough to help you really move forward. And if you work with me as an executive coach, I will help you move forward. But a lot of the content here that I share on my channel is very, very detailed. And that's because I care about you all, and I know you're going through things. I know you're wanting to do better. And even though we may never actually physically meet, we're here in this virtual world, and I want to support you any way that I can. Vickery Rajput says, do you use WhatsApp? So I don't use it as much with my business. That's something I have not set that up yet. I have to start working on that specifically. So when I get everything set up for it, I'll definitely put that out on my about page, because I know WhatsApp is very common, especially of communicating internationally. So there's actually a meeting I have scheduled, and the person I'm meeting with is in Germany, and she'd asked me the same question: did I have a WhatsApp? And I said I don't have it set up just yet, but I will. So Vickery Rajput, if you subscribe to the channel, whenever I make that update, I'll make sure I'll put that on there specifically as well. So let me know what other questions you all have. I just appreciate you all so much. And as you know, my evening lives, especially on the weekends, like today is Friday, right at this moment, it is Friday evening here in the United States. So I have a little bit more time, but I have another meeting I'm actually participating in just a few moments. But I wanted to be here and provide you all with some insight. And I appreciate your patience. I am a little under the weather today. So if you've noticed me say a bit more filler words than normal, it's just because I'm just not feeling 100%. But you know I'm here for you all, and I'm here to help you any way that I can. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing weekend. And I will see you all next Tuesday in the next video. If you have any topics, any situations, any topics that you want to talk a little bit more about as it relates to communicating at that higher level, then let me know. This morning we did talk about managing office politics. So if you are dealing with managing office politics or trying to navigate it, I gave you a pretty good insight, a very good fundamental type of strategy you need to work on if you're navigating office politics. So check out the live from this morning. It talks specifically about managing office politics. So let me know how I can support you in any way that I can. I appreciate you all being here and watching the video and being here live. I appreciate you. And it's so good to see you all when you come back to the videos. I appreciate you. And it's good to see you. And I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye for now.